I so knew this was going to happen. This one you could just see, right? As soon as they removed the trademark, around 6 different Redskin protected patent names, you knew it was just a matter of time before they were going to come after other controversial names where you could certainly see a racist tinge to those who are detractors. And the latest, of course, was that the Cleveland Indians are now facing a $9 billion suit. A number of Native Americans find that offensive. It's advertising marketing expert Bruce Turk. All our Fox Biz All-Stars are here as well. Where is all of this going, Bruce? This particular suit, first off.
Well, I think it's pretty clear. Advertisers have decided, or are in the process of deciding, that this doesn't make sense for them anymore. This is going to be the customer's last stand. After this, you're going to watch these names change. And I don't know why these teams don't get out ahead, get out in the right place in history, and make positive changes that advertisers will respond to. So
you think already, Bruce, that advertisers will step back even from associating themselves with the Cleveland Indians, or dare I say the Atlanta Braves, or the Hawks? We can go on and on here. Where do you draw the line?
Well, that's a great question. Where do you draw the line? Look, Neil, you have viewers who think the offensive part of the name Washington Redskins is the word Washington. I don't know where you draw the line.
Well, that was my view all along, and I don't know why people didn't concur. But I said they should change their name to the Maryland Redskins, but it didn't go anywhere.
Exactly. I mean, look, I have a bottle of Poland Springs water here. Does that offend some people? I don't know. But the point is, advertisers care not about controversy. They care about the people that give them money. So as soon as they see the tide shifting, guess what? They're gone. And when that happens, owners will realize that their advertisers, their revenue is more important than this legacy they're fighting for, and they're going to change.
Well, you know, I guess depending on your ethnicity, anything could offend you, right? I'm half Irish, so I'm looking at Notre Dame, and what do they call themselves? The Fighting Irish, right?
Right.
And look at this, drunk leprechaun. That's what it's like.
Obstreperous drunk leprechaun.
I'm always wondering, like, that was a time suing your ass. And you know what I mean? So I don't know where we go with this. But I guess we're going, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The important thing is it doesn't matter what your opinion is, and I'll say this to the viewers too. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. It's who's paying the bill.
What do you think of that, Dave?
I think unfortunately, he's absolutely right.
He's dead on right.
But dead on right. Another example would be the New York Yankees. I'm a Yankee. I was born in the Northeast. I object to the fact that my name is objectified by the New York. I mean, it's ridiculous. I was kind of hoping it was going to be against the Atlanta Braves, though, so we could get Ted Turner and Jane Fonda stop doing this thing, you know, the tomahawk. But it's as absurd as these name calling of the name callers is. I agree with your guest. I mean, it just comes down to business eventually.
All right, Sabrina, if he's right and Dave's right, that it's just a matter of time before all these teams, you know, change their logos or their mascots or just everyone to satisfy advertisers or sponsors who are just going to get cold feet. Right?
Well, I agree. And I mean, what's the logical end of all this? David and I were talking about this a few days ago. I mean, I'm in Los Angeles. There's a whole slew of cities in the Southwest that we might have to abolish because I think maybe atheists won't like them. San Bernardino, San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles, San Diego. I mean, where do we sort of draw the line? At some point, can we not throw this into the courts? Can we have a conversation among people who live in these communities? It's not clear, for instance, that everybody who is a fan of the Cleveland Indians are actually, offended by this name. There seem to be thousands of people.
Well, doesn't their mascot run through the field of like chopping?
Oh, well.
Ted Turner does that in the stands.
Well, who doesn't in their free time? But
I think there's another...
Charlie Kirk, isn't this harkening back to something we mentioned earlier in the show? We have better things to do. In other words, if you can file lawsuits, you can get angry about teams' names. Right. But when I saw Harry Reid take to the floor of the Senate to actually interrupt a day where Iraq was imploding to say that it's time for the Washington Redskins to do the right thing and change the team's name, then I said, all right, that's it. Rome's burning. Over. Game. This is it. Empire gone.
Absolutely. It's outrageous. I mean, just the fact that our Senate and this president addresses this head on and refuses to address the fact that Iraq is on, the verge of being taken over and the VA is in flames and we have a Marine jailed in Mexico, but somehow the most important thing on their agenda is change the name of the Redskins. But going back to what your guest said, I agree that some of these teams might be forced because of the advertisers to change their name, but bigger markets like Chicago Blackhawks, there'll be more resistance because of the local cultural heritage of people loving that name of the Blackhawks. So smaller media markets like Cleveland or Kansas City, the Kansas City Chiefs or the Cleveland Indians, they might be forced because they rely on outside company advertisement, whereas Chicago, United Airlines is one of the biggest supporters of Chicago Blackhawks. So it will be an interesting dynamic to see moving forward.
But your argument, Bruce, without taking sides on it, is the better part of valor just change now because it's going to drag with you if you don't, right?
That's right. And I think there's another thing to think about. As the market, as the audience gets millennials become the audience. And if you look at the demographics and the psychographics of millennials, what you find is that tolerance is incredibly important to them. So where we can all sit around and say, oh, this is ridiculous, better things to do, you agree, disagree, irrelevant. The market that's coming cares about this, and they care passionately. It's about
Charlie
rights.
Doesn't.
Human
He
rights.
must just be callous and
most of them
indifferent.
do.
Right.
I think we have to be really careful. I mean, we are walking on a very fine line here of what tolerance is and what diversity is. I mean, so much of this is wrapped up in this kind of faux diversity, that it's okay to be one thing but not another. I don't think that people really believe that the people of Cleveland are somehow racist. This is an attempt to sort of pad the pockets of trial lawyers. It's a $9 billion suit.
And a whole new group of experts. What scares me is Bruce had this term psychographics. I've heard demographics. I've never heard psycho. The fact there's a whole new group of experts that everybody's going to have to hire, more costs for business.
Ridiculous.
Exactly.
It's not a good new world we're going to do.
Ridiculous. All right, guys, I want to thank you. When we come back, you know we're always told, save for retirement, get ready for retirement. Then picture yourself the couple already in retirement. And you hate each other. You're yelling, you're screaming at each other.